Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the program, The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari. With me on the program this evening is Aisha Muhammad. Hello.
Hi, Aisha. Hello, and welcome to another beautiful edition of your favorite program, The Eagle. Thanks for joining us.
After 4 years of trial, former Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Intercontinental Bank PLC, Erastus Akingbola, is to be rearraigned in March 2014. The former bank chief, who was forced to reign by the EFCC in 2010, alongside Bayo Dada, the Managing Director of Tropic Finance Limited, over an alleged fraud of 47 billion naira, will likely be taking a fresh plea as his case has been reassigned a second time to a new judge. On our special focus segment, Kamilu Gebi will bring you a recap of the Akingbola case and how the trial has suffered several setbacks.
Also on our lineup today, the Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Malang Ibrahim Lamrde, reveals that property acquisition in the Federal Capital Territory has become an avenue for money laundering. Kamili Gebi will also bring to you a report on an exclusive interview with the Executive Chairman of EFCC, Malang Ibrahim Lamrde, his past experiences as the Commission's former Director of Operations and the EFCC under his current leadership. Details will come after the break. Please stay tuned.
These are raw effects of corruption. Come, let's join hands to put an end to these crimes by supporting the EFCC in the fight against economic and financial crimes for the betterment of our country, Nigeria.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Lamrde, has said property acquisition in the Federal Capital Territory has become an avenue for money laundering. Lamrde said there are so many properties scattered around the FCT with no occupiers, many of which he said have been standing for years without being put to use. According to the EFCC chairman, there was need for closer collaboration between the EFCC and the FCTA to check this unwholesome practice.
We also think that going forward, there is need for us to build stronger partnership and cooperation so that issues of the people trying to use land acquisition to launder proceeds of corruption and illicit funds generally could be stamped out. We have observed that some individuals who acquire properties in the FCT area do not use financial instruments in paying for these properties. Rather, cash payments are being made, and we think it's an avenue to launder illicit funds. If funds are genuinely acquired, individuals will have no need to use cash to make payments for properties. And we have also observed that some of these individuals, when they acquire such properties, they find it convenient not to change the ownership, not to register their interest in such properties for obvious reasons, because they wouldn't want their identity to be known, so that the source of the purchase could not be traced. We think this is a dangerous trend, and we come here this afternoon to say we will want to urge the Minister and his team to think and see how we can partner together and solve this alarming problem.
Lamurde noted that the Commission suspected insider abuse in some of the cases investigated and called on the Minister to be prepared to initiate disciplinary action against erring officers.
The support and assistance we have been receiving from your ministry. You are our hosts. We are here located in the FCT. We also have an office within the ministry here, which we have been catering for over the years. We have been having very good working relationship with the ministry, with some of your staff that we interact with on almost daily basis to stamp out issues of fraudulent practices by people who allocated land or claim to have been allocated lands, people who forged certificates of occupancy and things like that. I can tell you in the last 3 years, we recorded approximately about 270 cases, most of which have been resolved. And these cases were resolved with the assistance and support of the ministry.
The host minister, Senator Bala Mohammed, thanked the EFCC chairman for the visit and commended the Commission for its effort to stamp out corruption in the FCT. Senator Mohammed disclosed that the Commission has supported the FCTA in terms of arresting the scourge of corruption and leakages in the FCT, especially on land premiums.
I warmly welcome you to our midst, the Ombudsman and the Overseer, who has been fit to pay us this August visit in January. We are really appreciative of your visit. You have mentioned how you have been cooperating with us. Without EFCC or ICPC and other anti-corruption agencies, I don't know how FCT would have been run. You have really been rendering us a lot of support to arrest the scourge of corruption and leakages in our system, especially on our land premium and other practices within the FCT. You have mentioned the most scourging area, which is land fraud. And I remember very well how you have assisted us in terms of speculation, forgery, and so on and so forth. And definitely it is in our interest to accept your proposal that we build a more stronger, more vibrant, and mutually beneficial relationship so that we'll be able to stamp out corruption in all its manifestation.
As the Honourable Minister has said, we will continue to work in partnership with you and hope that together, because we're both working for the same boss, the Nigerian government and the Nigerian people, together we will improve our services and make Nigeria the country that we all want it to be.
Nigeria is the 6th largest producer of oil in the world. In over 50 years of oil exploration, the country has earned well over $600 billion as oil revenue. If properly managed, it should provide us with a health system that will save lives and not a decaying health system. A society where energy goes round for meaningful development and not an epileptic power supply system. A productive educational system and not a decaying educational system. A society where jobs are created for self-sustainability and not a society where our youth roam the streets unemployed. A highway of safety and security and not roads that lead us to early graves. We should have credible leaders who deliver dividends of democracy to the people and not corrupt leaders who divert our collective revenue for private use. Say no to corrupt leaders. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
The Lagos State High Court sitting in Ikeja on Monday, December 9, 2013, postponed till March 2014 the rearrangement of a former Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Intercontinental Bank PLC, now Access Bank PLC, Erastus Akingbola and his associate Bayo Dada, who was standing trial in a 47 billion naira stealing charge instituted against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Justice Lawal Akapo, who was taking over the case from the former trial judge, Justice Adeni Onigbanjo, told Godwin Obla SAN and M.I. Igbokwe SAN, prosecuting and defense counsels respectively, that he would need time to acquaint himself with the content and facts of the case. He subsequently adjourned the matter till March 24th, 25th and 27th, 2014 for arraignment and trial. The trial started 4 years ago after the Central Bank of Nigeria announced the sacking of 5 bank managing directors and chief executive officers. The announcement, which was made by the CBN Governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi via a press statement, said the decision was taken after the Apex Bank unraveled some illegalities resulting in excessively high level of non-performing loans, which was attributed to poor corporate governance practices, lax credit administration processes, and that the bank's credit risk management practices were totally in decline. The Chief Executive Officer of Intercontinental Bank PLC, Erastus Akingbola, was among the Chief Executive Officers affected. After their removal, the EFCC was petitioned to investigate allegations of fraud leveled against the bank chiefs. Some of them were arrested almost immediately and put to trial, but Akingbola fled the country and took sanctuary in the United Kingdom. This prompted the Commission to formally declare him wanted on August 23, 2009. However, the fugitive staged a dramatic return to Nigeria on 4 August 2010 and presented himself to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. He was immediately arrested, after which the Commission arraigned him before the Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos, presided over by Justice Idris Muhammad, a vacation judge, on a 22-count charge that borders on alleged shares manipulation and financial malpractice to the tune of 47 billion naira and 10.9 million pounds. He was arraigned alongside his associate Bayodada, a general manager in one of Akingbola's companies, Tropic Finance Limited. After the court vacation, Erastus Akingbola was rearraigned before Justice Charles Achibong by EFCC on November 29, 2010 on an amended 26-count charge. In April 2012, Justice Achibong controversially dismissed the 26-count charge of financial impropriety filed against Akingbola. Justice Achibong also barred the prosecuting team, comprising of 5 senior advocates of Nigeria, from appearing before his court or another judge of the Federal High Court over the matter for what he termed serious professional incompetence. The judge further directed the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Adoki, SAN, to disband, sack, and debrief the team and their respective firms from handling the matter for serious abuse of court process and incompetence. While Akingbola celebrated Justice Achibong's judgment, the EFCC in May 2011 initiated another action against him at the Lagos State High Court in Ikeja, presided over by Justice Habib Abiru. Together with Dada, they were arraigned on 27-count charges of stealing 47.1 billion naira belonging to Intercontinental Bank, now Access Bank, by false pretenses. After their arraignment on May 31, 2011, Akingbola pleaded not guilty to the charges and was granted bail in the sum of 100 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. The court also granted Dada bail in the sum of 50 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. The trial lasted about 10 months and recorded tremendous progress before it was truncated by the sudden elevation of the trial judge to the Court of Appeal by the federal government. Justice Abiru had on the 22nd of October 2012 adjourned the matter till the 22nd of November 2012 for adoption of final addresses by counsels. The announcement of his promotion rendered Abiru functus officio, and there rose the need to reassign the case to another judge for it to start all over again. The case was then moved to Justice Adeni Onigbanjo of the same Lagos State High Court, Ikeja. The prosecution counsel, Emmanuel Okala, SAN, called for the adoption of the proceedings of the aborted trial by the court, but Akingbola, through his counsel, Wole Olanipekun, SAN, opposed the application, insisting on a fresh trial. The judge obliged them and set July 10, 2013 for the commencement of trial. At the adjourned date, Akingbola asked the court to strike out all the 27-count charges against him. His counsel argued that the EFCC, as an agent of the federal government, lacked the authority to prosecute stealing charges at a state high court. The application was, however, dismissed by the court on the grounds that it was an abuse of court processes, since same issue had been dealt with before the former trial judge. He said Akingbola has a case to answer and set 3 days in July 2013 for trial to commence. The trial, however, failed to commence at the adjourned dates in July 2013. The presiding judge, Justice Onigbanjo, was said to have been moved from the criminal division of the court to the commercial division, forcing the case to be assigned to a new judge. The Chief Judge of Lagos State, Justice Ayotunde Phillips, reassigned Akingbola's case file to Justice Babajide Lawal Akapo, who is now the 3rd judge that will handle the Akingbola trial. The question now is, will he be the last?
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Next is the special focus segment with Kamilu Gabi. On the segment, the Eagle team had a chat with EFCC Chairman Malam Ibrahim Lamurde. The report.
Perhaps more than anyone else, Ibrahim Lamurde, the executive chairman of EFCC, has played and continues to play critical roles in the life of the commission. In this rare encounter, Lamurde explained how the EFCC started from zero to its present hero position.
It started way back in 2003, I think in the month of April 2003, after the inauguration of the board of the commission, the pioneer board of the commission. I think it took place on the 11th or so of April. I can't remember the exact date, but I know it's around that time. And I was in Lagos. The inauguration took place here in Abuja, and the whole board moved to Lagos, where I was located, and we were able to secure the use of number 15 Awolo Road, which used to be is the premises of the Department of State Security. But before the coming of the commission into existence, there was this committee, Committee on Financial Crimes, which was headed by a commissioner of police. And so the commission inherited the offices being used by that committee, the few staff, I think about 2 or 3, and the cases they had at that time, and that's how we took off. Unfortunately, there were no resources allocated to the commission at that time. There were no vehicles, no computers, not even one computer, virtually nothing except the personnel. We tried to get people to jumpstart the activities of the commission, and I was able to get some police officers that I had worked with them before, who I can trust their ability to perform. I also have confidence in the fact that they have integrity, which is what is needed to do this kind of job. And as soon as the chairman came, we took up some cases that were with the committee, and we started working on that.
When the commission started in 2003, tremendous success was recorded, especially in tackling the menace of advance fee fraud, popularly known as 419. But today, most Nigerians feel the EFCC is losing focus. This statement, the executive chairman dismisses as mere speculation.
Issue of 419, the big shot, the most visible people in that criminal enterprise were dealt with. That sent very strong signal across the country. People like Fred Ajudua was arrested, charged to court. Manuel Umude, who was involved with the Brazilian bank, and Mrs. Amaka and Jamba, they were all charged to court. For that particular case, people like Adi Bendel and the like, late Maurice Ibekwe, who was a member of the House of Representatives here, was arrested and charged to court. That made all the 419s, especially the big players in their criminal enterprise, to go underground. And what that has done is to push most of them out of this country. They migrated to other jurisdictions where they feel the intensity of law enforcement activity, particularly directed at that own type of criminal enterprise, is less aggressive, and they open shop there and they are working on that.
Lamurde also explained the strong collaboration the EFCC enjoys with other anti-corruption agencies in the fight against economic and financial crimes.
We have officers who came from the United States Postal Inspection Service for the purposes of working together and carrying out joint operations. which we intend to continue. We, in fact, have signed more MOUs with law enforcement agencies across the globe of recent than we have done in the past. We have done it with the Australian Federal Police. We have done it with Western Australian Police. We have done it with Serious Fraud Office of the United Kingdom. We have several in which people are coming to sign. We have signed it. We are trying to do one with the Canadians. Everybody wants to sign MOU with us to work because they believe they have something to benefit from working with us.
When asked if the Commission suffers interference in terms of its operations, the EFCC boss clears the air.
I think it is baseless. When you say interference, I don't know what these people mean by interference. People like to make comments over issues they don't know much about. The thing is that nobody has ever said, don't arrest this person, or arrest this person, or prosecute XY, and don't prosecute AZ or whatever it is.
He also spoke on some EFCC cases that have suffered setbacks in various courts of law across the country.
Nobody knew that Justice Abiru is going to be elevated to the Court of Appeal. And once it was announced that he was elevated to the Court of Appeal, he can't write that judgment. It's unfortunate, as bad as it is, and everybody was disappointed. But unfortunately, there is nothing you can do. It has happened, it has happened. So you must move on. You can't stay, because you can't change the situation. It's elevated, and he cannot deliver the judgment. It's true it was assigned to another judge and then reassigned. That maybe, we will say it's the decision of the, what do you call it, the hierarchy of the court that's moved, and I believe some of the judges were reassigned to other divisions, and that is why these changes have taken place.
Recently, the EFCC organized a seminar for Bureau de Change operators to educate them on money laundering laws. We
had this seminar because we think they need to be properly educated in what their responsibilities are. It is true, we think they are the weakest link in the financial sector when it comes to dealing in foreign exchange and movement of money within and outside the country. We have seen in the past some of them moving huge sums of money out of this country, even though they go to declare to the customs. But it's also not natural for somebody to take $1 million, $2 million, at times $5 million. We have even seen $7 million in cash. Even if you declare such cash, we believe you must be able to say how you are able to get into possession of such amount of money, and who owns that money, and what is the purpose of taking such money in cash out of this country.
The EFCC boss bears his mind on anti-money laundering laws in Nigeria, which has been reviewed recently.
I don't think it is mild. We have just reviewed it and amended it in 2011. I think it is in good shape. It has met international standard, and that is why the FATF have delisted Nigeria from targeted review, because they have reviewed the anti-money laundering law. They have also reviewed the Terrorism Prevention Act. So I think our laws are very good. What remains is enforcement, implementation, and the cooperation of the players in the industry, or financial industry, so as to comply with the laws and make sure that all the spirit and letter of the laws are complied with by everybody, and so that is what is important.
Lamurde also spoke on the Financial Intelligence Unit Bill at the National Assembly, which has passed second reading.
What we have done is to say, look at functional FIUs all over the world. We're not talking about FIUs that are there for the name and the glamour, if you like, borrowing from your colleagues' language, that goes with the office of the FIU. No functional FIU in the world is a standalone FIU. So what we try to do, the public here, is say, look, we are not arguing with any person about whether there should be an independent FIU or not independent FIU. But going forward, look at what is functional. What do we intend to achieve? Do we want the organization to continue to function and meet up with the needs of law enforcement agencies and also be able to discharge its responsibilities the way it is envisaged? Because when we speak in most cases in this country, we cite America, we cite United Kingdom and other European countries as models we want to follow. The FIU in the United Kingdom, which is our colony, which most of the things we are doing is borrowed from them, is situated in the National Crime Agency, NCA, former SOCA, which is now called National Crime Agency. It's a law enforcement body and is situated in that. Nobody's talking about that. The FIU in the United States of America is FinCEN. And FinCEN is situated in the Treasury Department. In fact, the director of FinCEN reports to the undersecretary. Is there? You go to their website of FinCEN. They will tell you everything, who reports to what, who appoints who. They are not independent. They report to somebody. The same thing go to Canada, go to Italy. Italy, it is located in the police. They report to the head of the police. Go to Hong Kong. Go to Singapore.
That's all we can take on that interview. We will bring you the concluding part of it on the consequent editions of this program. Well, that's it for this evening on the program. Please do join us next week for another edition of this program. I'm Aisha Gambari. God bless Nigeria.
To be part of this program, you can send your suggestions and comments via our Twitter handle at Official EFCC or leave a comment on our Facebook page, Official EFCC/Facebook.com. You can also watch EFCC activities via www.youtube.com/Official EFCC. Aisha Muhammad is my name. Bye-bye.
Bye.